All right, let's go. Virtually, get me 2 people. Backside, pick me 2 people and get them up on my board. Backside team, whoever you want, we got a list. Barry, you and the team, just give me 2 up on the board. Chad, get up here. Get up here, Chad. All right, so where you at? What are you getting from this?
I just shared with the guys in the group that I'm in a terrifying fucking place in all this. I've repetitively let go of little things for a long time inside of my world and started giving myself the self-righteous pats on the back, and been hit in the face over the last month or so and asked to let go of a lot more because I understand what's on the line now from a different light. And what's hitting me in all this is, if it's not uncomfortable, I haven't submitted yet. And if it's not fucking terrifying, you are not all in. When it gets uncomfortable and it gets terrifying, then you're called to put yourself on the front lines and get bloody. Why frame it that way? Same that holds true for me, and that frame's going to hold true for you, and that is, this world is after myself, my wife, and my 4 daughters.
How many of you have daughters? Raise your hand. How many virtually have daughters? Put your hands, camera. Okay, hands down. How many of you as a father have hit a moment in the last 12 to 18 months where you've kind of been in a what the fuck mode as a father, where you're like not even sure how to guide your daughters with what they're being bombarded with right now? Raise your hands. Fucking terrifying. As much as I'm getting guidance, it's terrifying. My son, I feel one thing. Very sexist. Like, he'll fucking figure it out. Let's go. Daughters, on the other hand, is terrifying. And it only stays terrifying until what, Chad?
Until you submit and you go all in with God.
What does that mean to you?
To me, that means finding the most important things in my life, including my wife and my daughters, and giving that to God. That's what that means. What does it mean to give that to God? That means to let go mentally in my mind of the frame that I'm in control of my daughters and my wife and myself and my business and my money, and I've got all this shit figured out. Fuck you, you don't. Because when you think you do, God's going to throw you a fucking curveball, and he's going to ask you, are you ready to get fucking bloody for your wife and your daughters? Because that's what it's going to take. Or you can say, I'm good. I know enough. I'm comfortable. I'm a fucking badass.
Why do you keep surrendering? You keep surrendering. You're a psychopath. You're one of the 10 that decided to come run with me next year, one-on-one. Getting started right after this. You've been running in this game for a couple of years. You've seen what's happened. The only reason I would choose to play that game with you is because of your commitment to do this. Why do you keep doing it? I don't play with dudes who are like in that capacity. You're in my fucking world. Like, you're part of my world. I am your world. You are my world. Like, everything is your kids and you are my kids. It's a fucking huge responsibility on my side. Can't afford to have people in my world who aren't going to do shit. Eventually, they work themselves out. It's too heavy. Or I just stop caring, and I'm just like in a place I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I've been very critical about who I choose. And you have that one characteristic, which is you are willing to keep submitting. Why? Tell them why. You're not submitting to me, by the way. It's not some dictator shit. It's submitting to me. I was a guidepost. I'm just banging, speaking, holding the mirror up. So why do you keep doing it?
Because in May of 2020...
Hold on a second. Stop. Close your eyes. Breathe. Take one deep breath in and release. Take another deep breath in and release. You're trying to think of the answer. There's no right answer. Just flow with what you know. Don't tell me a story. Just, why do you keep doing it? It's right there on the surface. Just tell them.
Because submitting to God's will is the only thing that's pulled my life out of the fucking pit it was in and has continued to amplify my life with my wife and kids.
Stop. I mean, it's probably not a more simple explanation. Matt, Rob, Mark, there's only so much you can create, even playing with the syndicate, if you don't plug in up top. If you don't plug in up top, it doesn't matter. You know this, right? You love your wife? Chad?
Fuck yes.
You love your girls?
Fuck with everything I have in my soul, yes.
So you love them enough to listen to God.
I've demonstrated that, yes.
And that's why we're running. That's why you're standing there holding the microphone. That's why you're fucking qualified. That's why you're worthy, because you have demonstrated for years a willingness to fucking go. You and Jesse Barlow need to connect too. I'm going to connect you guys. This word right here. Balance. People hear me reference this word and they think I'm talking about harmony. This is not what I'm speaking about. Not here in Warrior. Here in Warrior, we're talking about two things. Your partner and your posterity. I have 5 children. My wife and I have had 2 more babies in the last 3 years, 3.5 years. Michael Isom and Wendy Isom, I love them, send me pictures of their grandbaby. And then I text them back a picture of my actual baby. And then they both go, good luck. I'm like, oh, well, here we go again. I got crying babies of 23-year-olds. 23, nearly 16, almost 12, 3, and 9 months. It's like 3 chapters of my life. My wife and I joke that we've been married multiple times, and these last 2 are just our decision. And we're so grateful. Many of them are going to be here on Friday to share with you. Because I want you to see the evidence back home. I want you to hear from them. I want you to hear what it looked like, the war zone I went in with my teenager to fight for her so that she could find freedom, even when she didn't want to be free. And how in the last 3 to 4 months, the greatest gift God ever gave me was let her go and give her back to me. I thought, you must be crazy. I'm going to try to control this. Orist, I'm going to try to control this. Tim Mullins, I'm going to try to control this. Rob Fountain, Michael Nichols, this is what I'm going to try to do. Raj Verma, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to control it like I always control it. I'm going to treat my kids like they're employees. Only in many cases, I'm going to be more fair. And say, it's what the fuck you're going to do, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it. The problem is, it doesn't work. It works to control, but it doesn't work to set them free. And there I was, sitting in this relationship with my daughter. Terrified. Facing some of the darkest pain with my daughter. Pain that she experienced coming into the Christian faith. With men and boys in the church. Now I'm having to fucking confront this shit as a father. Want to fucking kill people. People are like, why don't you come back? I'm like, why don't you go fuck yourself? It's my fucking daughter. And so I'm fighting with myself. fighting for her, fighting for the other girls, feeling the weight and the pressure of 4 daughters, feeling the pressure trying to pull myself back in a relationship with my son, trying to figure out how to play that dynamic with the 23-year-old who I ignored for 10 fucking years. No relationship. Now I'm trying to put it together, and I love it. He's in my house, but I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, I don't know how to do that exactly. He's going to share this week. Talk about what he's seeing, how he's experiencing it. My wife and I, it was the only thing I ever wanted. It's all I ever wanted. But my definition was I wanted more sex. But what I want is what I had happen a week ago. We had amazing sex, and then she just laid there naked on top of me. And her head was in my neck, just breathing. And I'm just laying there, and I just feel her, and the energy between me and her is just like, it's just pulsing and moving and bonding and twisting and reconnecting something. Next morning, she's like, that was awesome. I was like, that was awesome. I was like, how are you feeling? She's like, I don't know, like the inside out feels like just like alive. I was like, I know. We've been together for 21 years. I fought for this relationship to the point in 2016, I was willing to let go of my whole marriage to pursue this possibility. My marriage was good, but it wasn't great, and it wasn't a soul level elite. This was what I was after. This was what I was committed to. This was what I was willing to sacrifice all. Was to obtain this one relationship, to put myself in harmony. All the rest of it was fucking frosting. This is what I wanted, and from that relationship trickling down to my children. So we're going to have a conversation with yourself around balance. Many times I should have called you, but I didn't. Because I was still stuck in me and not we. So we're going to get honest with some questions that you're going to answer. And you're going to spend time in a new format using the fact map. And I'm going to give you 30 minutes to sit back and be real with you. You're going to do this across a couple levels. First, you're going to identify where you're currently free. Where are you currently free? Inside your relationship with your spouse and your children, where you're currently free. If you're single and do not have a significant relationship, where are you free in your current dating life? What does that look like? What does freedom look like in that place? Second question, very simple. Where are you currently in bondage? Where are you not free? Dr. Fedora, I'm excited to get an update. I'm as excited. I don't know what the fucking update is. I mean, it could be crazy. I don't know. I'm just fucking excited. We're going to find out here in this section. This is all men have actually wanted here. You ask a man why he wants power and money. In the end, he really just wants one thing, to be respected and loved by a woman. To be wanted. To be told. To be held. To experience that divine connection with a woman that he loves. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? Raise your hand. There's not any of us. There's nothing any of us can do that can replace that hole, that building to connect, that desire to be wanted, to be respected, to be honored. The challenge is for many of you is that you've not been showing up in a way that has allowed you to receive it. You've not been playing the game the way that she can code in with you. And some of you are in relationships that need to end. People say, are you about divorce? I said, I am not. I'm not for it, I'm not against it. Here's what I am for. A powerful man telling the fucking truth. And pursuing what that man knows he must have. If you're in virtual and you get what I'm talking about, type in hell yes in the chat. If you connect with this conversation, and so in a moment, you're going to get to work and be honest with yourself about where you're free and where you're in bondage inside your relationships with both your spouse and your kids. Right now, I have limited capacity to be in a place to just be with and listen to my children. The minute my kids come into the conversation with me, I have a challenge as a father and a producer and a husband. What do I try to do? Fix fucking everything. I throw resource at it, time at it, money at it. I hire people. And in the end, I struggle. My greatest obstacle in my relationships with my kids is the ability to sit and not try to fix anything. Just sit, listen. This is my bondage. So Rich, when they're talking, my mind's already problem solving. Just fucking do this, this, and this. We're going to do this. I'm going to hire these 3 people. We're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and fucking problem's gone. It's going to be no problem, so I'm fucking gone. And then I tell them, and they never receive it the way I'm thinking they're going to. There's no excitement. My kids just sit in this place feeling more and more depressed, like I'm not fucking listening. And it's fucking hard for me. So 2023, my targets with my family have been driven off this foundation of honesty that I've had to come to with myself, that I don't know how to be the best father when it comes to just being with them. And I can justify it. I can justify it. They're children of a king. They don't like that speech. You're children of the king. You don't get to have a normal life. Not going to be home at 3:30 every day. But I also get honest, that's with myself, and guess what I know? God's calling me to a higher place with them, just like he did with my wife. He's calling me to a higher place with you. So open up your device, pull up your iPads, pull up your laptops. We're going to jump into software. I'm going to show you where we're going. Everybody inside my home audience, do the same thing. Let's go ahead and show up our displays. Come to your notes section. Inside your notes section, you're going to see a blue button that says Create. When you click on that Create button, you will see it right here. Everybody in the audience here, in person and on virtual, do it with me. You're going to click on Template. When you click on Template, it's going, oh, look at that, it fucking worked. How many of you have software as part of your company? Raise your hand. How many know that what I just did, pushing that button and it worked, that was fucking cool? I was like, please fucking work right now in front of everybody, God damn it. And once I do that, you're going to see 3 sets of maps. We got fact maps, we got focus maps, we got freedom maps. The only thing we're going to worry about is a fact map, and it's populated 4 specific maps for you, a body, being, balance, and a business. I want you to click on the balance map. When you do that, oh, look at that. Thank you for that little tip. Oh, look at that. There's another tip. Tell me how to do shit. Oh, wow, there's another one. That's new. Good job, guys. Who knows? Not only did it work, it gave me some instructions. That was cool. I know you guys won't fucking read them, so that's all right. We'll put them in there anyways. It's for a handful of your wife and children, the women in your life who use the software that will read everything. These questions are simple. You're going to take a moment to answer each one. I'm giving you 25 minutes to go through it. You're not going to rush. You're going to take your time and answer these questions. They're simple. In the beginning, look at the fruit in your balance domain. In what ways are you free today and why? How does this freedom and balance today make you feel? Words, feelings. What has been your focus in balance over the last 6 to 12 months that produced that freedom? And then we're going to cascade it across body, being, balance, and business, and we're going to ask the impact. That freedom, what's been the impact of that freedom and balance on your body, on your being, and on your business? Then you're going to move into bondage questions. Same questions, but now going to be on bondage. Where are you currently in bondage, looking at the fruit of your relationships? Imbalance, what ways do you see yourself in bondage? Captive. Now, for some of you, you're like, oh, I'm not in bondage at all. Where do you know you can be more free inside the balanced conversation? More free than what you're currently experiencing. If this makes sense, raise your hand. For some of you, this is the next level with your kids, next level with your spouse. For some of you, this is moving into what we call, for my single guys, finding, attracting, and creating the savage queen. I had 2 guys this year who were single, went through divorces, now found the savage queen. I got asked to marry one of them. He gave me these socks. The officiant. That was a big moment. 3 hours with him and his fiance. Sitting at their house last week in Florida. Sitting there, emotional, having a conversation, watching her blast the fuck out of him. She was just unloading, telling her truth. And I was like, good. I said, hey, you don't say shit. Listen to her. She's dropping all the bombs, and then we got done. The conversation was beautiful, and then she brought a box out and said, we have a huge request of you. So what's that? We'd like you to marry us. It's like, well, I accept. And this will be the coolest fucking wedding Florida's ever seen. It's going to be amazing. The crazy part is I sat on that man's desired conversation a year ago. Single, searching, wanting, longing. And we found the savage queen. That was the target. For some of you, it's a rebirth inside a relationship. You're not in a good place. How many know right now a relationship with your significant other needs to level up? Raise your hand. Cool. Now everyone get your fucking hands up. You fuckers, that was a trick question. Get your hand up, Mike Hardy. No matter how good you think your shit is right now, guess what? You can be bigger in that relationship. So there are areas that you're showing up in a way that's bondage-driven. So I want you to give yourself an effort. Put it in on that piece. The last 2 pieces you're going to see is revelation and lessons. When you look at the current situation, what are the final thoughts? Final thoughts, insights, revelations, you complete this balance map. What things are there in your mind still? And the last piece, what are the lessons you've learned going through this map, looking at yourself? This is an individual exercise, by yourself, working alone, by yourself. Turn to the person next to you and explain what you're going to be doing. Turn to the next to them and explain what you're going to do. In the chat, type in the chat if you know what's going on. Type in there to say, I get it, in the chat if you know what's happening. Just so I know you're clear. You've been able to pull up your software. You know where you're at. Come with me again on this. The map is simple. Gentlemen at home, this is not a complicated exercise. We're going to turn on a little bit of music. You're going to get a chance to work for 25 minutes. Okay? Be with yourself. Don't allow any distractions and get honest. You're going to be sharing your honesty on this page with other brothers here in just a minute. Gentlemen, if you are clear in the room about where we're going for the next 25 minutes, give me clear. Clear? Clear? Beautiful. Let's bring my house lights up. Get it bright. Give me some If you need some coffee, caffeine, or Celsius, we got that for you too. Gentlemen, the work begins online. You got 25 minutes. 25 minutes. We're going to play music. We're going to be right here with you. I'll be checking in with you here with Coach Trevor over the next 25. Work, work, work. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Bring the audio down just a little bit. Music down just a little bit. It's a little intense. Bring it down just a bit. A little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. Perfect. Gentlemen, it's not a talking exercise, so work on your own exercise. You got 24 minutes. Let's go. Coach Trevor, you got a clock? Coach Sam and Nick, if you guys are going to talk, head out to the foyer. No talking in my room. Let's go. Sit down and work. You got less than 25 minutes. Get yourself in the pocket. If you have any problem with tech, Weston's waiting.
Great work, everybody. Where are you free in balance? You guys have plenty of time. All you guys at home, you have plenty of time. Don't do just 1 or 2 sentence answers. How is this actually impacting your freedom inside your balance quadrant? How is that actually impacting your body, your business? Spend the time. You got plenty of time. You got 17 minutes. All right, you're 10 minutes down. Got 15 minutes on the clock still. Those of you who are making the transition out of freedom, now we're going into bondage. Might sound like an interesting question. What is the fruit of the bondage? What are the results? What are you actually seeing for you? You guys are doing great. When you're in that bondage, how does it actually feel? Go deep on the feeling. What does it feel like with the bondage you're experiencing? Some of these you have to really think, what's the impact on my body because of the bondage in my balance? How is that actually impacting my business because of this bondage? How's it impacting my connection to God, my being? You guys are doing great. You guys at home, you're doing great. Keep in the work. Do this work for you. got just under 9 minutes. You guys are doing awesome. It really comes down to, what are you actually seeing? What inspiration, what revelation? What's coming up from you when you look at these facts inside of your balance? For some of you, this is the big domino. Extract and understand the lessons inside of this domain, and the rest fall into place. So what are you seeing? What are the lessons you're pulling from the work you've done the last 22 minutes or so? Spend this last 6 minutes getting very, very clear about what you're seeing. What are the lessons? What are the patterns inside of the way you operate? For some of you, this may be hard. When you strip back what you want in fantasy and you stand in truth, your facts may not marry up anywhere close to what you actually want. Just stay in the work. You got just over 5 minutes remaining. What is the lesson for you? Don't worry about what you're going to do or action steps you're seeing. Just what is the lesson and how it's been, the facts that you experience right now. These are your final 2 minutes. Final 2 minutes. You've identified the freedom that you were experiencing inside of your balance, and then been able to identify the pitfalls of the bondage, what the fruit of both of those are, and how they're impacting all the other domains of who you are. What comes up for you? What inspiration, what lessons for you? Final seconds. Final seconds.
All right, show of hands, how many are done? Beautiful. So here's the deal. In the room, you're going to find 3 other men. Bring my lights up. You're good. Bring the lights up. In the room, you're going to find 3 other men. You're going to get your chairs, and you're going to sit. Take your laptop with you, iPad with you. You're going to sit and discuss as a group. Find 3 different people you have not been with before. My in-person. Start moving around the room. I'll give you instructions once you're there. Those that are virtual, come with me, but I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to go over to the cool camp. Hold on. Come with me over to the cool camp. Gentlemen at home. Same situation. We're going to be into a share. This exercise was terribly difficult. Yep. Eric, I feel you. Having a better marriage is a key thing for me, but knowing what to do and how to get there is difficult. All we need you to do today, Eric, is be fucking honest about how shitty it is today. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Be that honest. What's up, Joshua? Zapata, I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. What's going on? Just be honest. Gentlemen, you got a chance inside of these breakouts. I realize you're virtual. I realize you don't know some of these guys. You're not in person. You can't hug them, be up on them. Give yourself a chance. We're going to put you into breakouts here. You've got 20 minutes in this to discuss what your reality is. That means that each guy's going to get about 3 to 4 minutes, 5 minutes max to be able to share. We're going 20 minutes on the share. You're going to be in a group of 4 to 5. If you're clear about what we're going to do virtually, type in clear into the chat so I know you're clear. Give me clear. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let me see it. Let me see it. Let me see it. This is not a time to turn your camera off. Don't fucking turn your camera off. This sharing part is critical for you. You're going to hear people say things that are going to matter to you. So, virtual, clear and ready to go. Virtual team, go ahead. All right. Here we go, here we go, here we go. All right, we got Mark fighting the back. Now it's dark where Mark is. Where's my jib? My jib on me? All right, Mark, we got you off mute this time. See if we got you off mute.
That's good.
Go ahead and talk.
Good. I'm ready to talk.
All right, we're ready. Okay, Mark, give it to me. Balance. Number 1, are you married?
I'm not married, but I've been with the same girl for 11 years now.
Okay, so you're basically married. Are you committed to this woman?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, do you sleep with other women?
I do not. Never cheated, never will.
Okay, got it. So you're committed to this woman. Is she committed to you?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I'm all about loyalty. That's why she's here.
Okay, do you have children?
I do not. She does. She has one. Daughter,
She has one.
25.
How old's her daughter?
25.
25. Are you connected to her, like close?
We're pretty close. We're not that close, but we've had a rocky relationship. I came into her life at like 15
Yep.
or 14, somewhere in there, and
That's a difficult
we
place.
bumped heads a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So give to me what's some of the freedom you're seeing right now inside of balance for you? What is it?
You know, I got to be honest. Before talking in the chat, I would have said I have zero freedom and balance because 80% of my work it consumes my life, and the rest is jujitsu, Muay Thai. I'm at the gym, and when I come home, I'm a shell of a person, and I have freedom to do what I want, but is it really freedom? Because I'm too exhausted at the end of my working out work to be anything. So I'm basically useless.
Okay, so you put all your energy into jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and business, and then by the time you get home, you're exhausted. So is that the bondage factor for you in a relationship? Is this affecting your relationship then?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So is there any freedom that you can see right now inside your relationship with your girl?
I mean, there's freedom. We have a good relationship. She trusts me. I trust her.
Okay.
There's a great foundation to build on.
Okay.
It's just I'm really a shitty partner when it comes down to it.
Okay, at least we're getting honest here. So right now we're struggling to even identify this freedom. I guess a certain level of freedom. You have a woman who's sticking with you. What's her name?
Heidi.
Peggy. So Peggy's with you. You guys been together for 11 years.
Heidi.
Heidi?
Yeah.
Okay, Heidi.
Yes, sir.
No, sorry. So we got Heidi. No Peggy's. Peggy's out the picture. We don't hang out with Peggy anymore. Just Heidi. Okay,
Yes,
so we've got this other piece in bondage. Talk to me about the bondage. What's going on there? What's going on bondage-wise in relationship?
Well, in the relationship, I mean, the bondage is probably my inadequacies. It's where I'm tied to work and I'm not there. So the relationship is really, I don't know why she's still here, to be honest. I'm not a great person to be in a relationship with. So
Okay.
she probably has more bondage than I do.
How many show of hands can see there might be some work to be done in this area? Raise your hand. Okay, good. At least you see it too. How many been in a situation where you have been all in with the business and all in with some form of your Iron Man, whatever it is, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, whatever. You've been all in on your body game. You've been all in on your business game, but you give your partner about 3% of what you give your body and your business. Raise your hand. Now here's a bigger question. In the chat, how many of you are not surprised that your results are the way they are because you go all in on those two things but not on her? Type in, not surprised. Look at that. You guys can spell too. Good job. I need fucking Grammarly to put that shit in there. Good work. So this is a reality that we face constantly. Now, why business and body? Give it to me. Why do you think? Why you commit to Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu with more passion and fury than Heidi gets? Why do you think?
I mean, because I'm fucked up for one.
Okay.
For me.
Well, let's pause real quick. You're not as fucked up as you think. How many of you have done exactly what he's talking about? Raise your hand. Like I want you to see inside the studio. Let them see everybody in person so we can see, and virtually. Keep your hands up the camera if that's been you. Put them up the camera online if you're there. So number one, dude, you're not fucked up. The reality is you did fucked up shit because that's what we do. Because nobody told us to do anything different. What do you do to survive? Make money, release frustration by beating my friends up. Makes sense. But it's not working anymore for you. Why?
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious at some point she's going to wake up and realize the relationship is shit and move on.
Or worse, she doesn't.
You're right.
And then you just go to work all day, come home from fitness all day, only to come home exhausted with nothing to give. But what do you really want from her?
I think she's given me everything that I want. I think it's
Okay.
me, and I have to figure that part out. I mean,
Okay, so what is she,
I mean,
is there anything more you want from that relationship than what she's currently giving or what you're currently receiving?
yeah. I mean, I would love for her to feel more passionate about being physically fit, being in shape,
Okay,
taking ownership of the same things that I find important.
so you want her to be more fit?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yes or no?
Yes. Oh, of course.
Okay, are you drawn to her sexually?
Not right now.
Yes or no?
No.
Is that a physical thing or is that an emotional connection thing? What do you think?
Physical.
Okay, if she was very seductive in her talk and you guys had time and attention, kind of like your Muay Thai brothers, if you rolled with her as much as you rolled with your boys at the gym, would you be down to fuck a lot? Not your boys, Heidi.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up because
That is, I didn't know. I just want you wanted to go anywhere. You know, maybe I'm just, yeah, we're clear now. Okay, do you enjoy sex with her?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The pot, what? Yes or no? You can be honest.
Not right now.
Okay, so right now we're not down.
Yes,
So
not right now.
okay, got it. When did she start going to this place physically?
She had cancer back in 2012 and
Okay.
ended up gaining a lot of weight.
Okay, awesome. And has she not recovered since then with it?
With the cancer, yes.
Cancer's
but
gone.
The mental side of it.
Okay, good for her. So cancer's gone, and she's stuck in a loop trying to recover. And do you want her to recover from
I think
this?
she's trying.
Yeah, is she trying or is she not trying?
Of course.
She has been trying.
Not trying.
She has been trying or she has not been trying?
She has not.
Okay, so are you drawn sexually to her at all? Are you attracted to her right now? She shows up naked in front of you, or you're like,
No.
let's go? No?
No.
Okay, are you drawn to a lot of the hot girls on the Instagram? You can say yes.
I don't really get caught up, but no.
Okay,
No, of course, yes.
okay, I mean, it happens, right? So we have all this point of reference out here, and then we have her showing up in here. I'm gonna have you consider something. She's showing up exactly at the level that you're showing up as a man in her world. So you've been waiting for her to change, but the man you are, that man is not worthy of the change you're asking from her.
Yeah, no, that's dead on. I
know.
can't even argue with that.
I know. It's all right. I get it. I did the same shit, bro. My thing was just Ironman and ultra marathons. You look a lot fucking more savage than I did. I just turned into skinny ass fucking looked like I was starving, dude, and running around the mountains. Wasn't impressive. I barely wanted to fuck myself. I was like, no, we're not interested. I mean, my hand would walk away. So, at least you're fit and you can beat people the fuck up, so that's cool. Not me. I just ran away from everyone. And then begged for hand jobs. And then wondered why my wife showed up the way she did. Here's what I know about powerful women. At one point, you were deeply, deeply in love with this woman, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you still love her today, yes or no?
Of course, yes.
Of course, yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You love her. Are you mentally stimulating this relationship with her, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you at a soul level have a connection with who she is as a person, yes or no?
Yes.
If she dropped the weight and took that direction on in her world, is this a woman you want to be with for life?
Yes.
If she doesn't, will you stay in the relationship, yes or no?
Yes.
Will you continue to hide from her if she stays that way and you stay in the relationship the rest of your life, yes or no?
No. Not after this conversation.
You'll likely cheat. It's not if, it's a matter of time. I know you're telling me you won't. I've been doing this for 10 years. 55,000 men. I've had hundreds tell me, nope, I never, nope, I never. And 18 months later, they show up on my fucking front door. Legitimately. And all the I would nevers happen. Do you want to feel sexually drawn to this woman?
I do.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you consider there's a way to feel drawn and attracted to her that's gonna come by your attitude and energy towards her that has little to do with what her ass size is or her waist size is, any of the rest is. I'm not saying that's not a factor. I'm saying there's a piece of you that could invoke that to change in her if you showed up in a way that invokes that change. What do you think I mean by that?
I mean, for me, I'm assuming you would have to, I would have to get my shit together.
Yeah.
Start making more time for her and less time about money and the gym, which are obviously escapes.
Yep. Who said this? Come here, Mike. Get up here. Have the experience. Go over here and look in the jib right here. Just walk over there and then talk to Mark.
Mark, as I was sitting down there and listening to you, what came...
Mike? Keep going. Oh, your name's Mike, and I said Mike. Fuck. You're like, what? Is this mic working? Go.
Mark, I would encourage you to seduce her. Pour into her with the energy that you pour into the other areas of your life, and just test it. Like, you don't have to take Garrett's word for it, my word for it, or any of the other brothers' words for it. Test it yourself and find out. What I found out for myself, and I came to Warrior for many other reasons, but what ended up happening is I started pouring into my marriage and into my balance side of my life, and my production and business went through the roof as a result of that. But you get to find out if that's true for you first.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Now, Mark, do you want to stay in a relationship the way it is right now, yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you for being honest. Like, and this is the hard part, is get to realization of, like, how old are you?
46.
46. You're my age, 46. The idea of playing this for 20 years, is it very exciting? This current relationship with Heidi the way it is, if you played it forward 20 years from now, are you excited about where you're ending?
No.
No, that's 20 years of deep, intimate sexuality, connection, and communion with a woman who you love that will be missed out on unless you make a pivot. But that starts with being honest, which is, my current relationship is not going to work for me. That does not put the responsibility on her. I'm going to have to consider she responded to how you showed up.
I think that's fairly accurate.
It's accurate. Just be with it. Just be with that. Because here's the deal. If it's her fault, you're fucked. Why?
Because I can't change that.
You cannot change anything she's doing. This is the biggest mistake men make in the game of balance. It's her fucking fault. It's her fault. If she just stopped being a bitch, I would be able to show up the way. Listen, if she just showed up like an amazing woman that just wanted to blow me every day, my life would be better. Said every fucking guy that walked the planet at some point in their brain. I'm a church Christian, guys don't admit it. They just think it in their brains about all the women at church and then try to hurry up and read a scripture. Just kidding. And then they go to the book of Psalms always, and I was like, you realize that's a book about a guy that killed a guy to fuck a girl. Just saying. So you have an opportunity to choose something different. But today we have to get honest, and you're getting honest with what, Mark? What is it?
My deficiencies.
Yeah.
What I need to do to change the relationship.
Yeah, your relationship. Well, we're going to figure out what that is. But what we acknowledge right now is that one of the greatest obstacles to your entire life is the fact that you are missing out on a deeply satisfying, soul-level, sexual, emotional, and deeply riveting, life-altering relationship with a woman that it could explode your fucking life, that it have you give zero fucks about Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. You'd be like, be with the queen, fuck around in Jiu-Jitsu for the 14th hour this week. I'm going to go roll with the queen. How many get what I'm talking about? Raise your hand. Look in the audience. I mean, Michael Urban's dancing for you, bro. Came out with his cowboy hat and everything. Michael, it's good to see you, buddy. You're fucking crazy. Michael's like a perfect person you should connect with. Okay. Thank you, Mark. Let's go on to our next one.
Thank you.
You got it, brother. Alejandro, you ready?
Good day. Yeah, ready.
All right, so give it to me. Where are we at right now? Balance. Where are we at right now when it comes to freedom? What are you seeing?
I'm seeing excellent freedom with my partner, with Maria. to be authentically who I am. I am who I am. I don't have to put on any masks. I can be vulnerable with her, truthful with her. We've had amazing love-making, amazing sex. It's awesome, as much as a spiritual level as a physical level.
Is that satisfying? Is that satisfying to be in a relationship where you feel sexually satisfied?
It is the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's
It
amazing.
is amazing.
Yeah,
It
what do
is
you feel
liberating.
beyond it? I can tell you feel something for this woman beyond the sex. What do you feel?
I feel she's my soulmate.
Yeah.
I want to be with this woman for the rest of my life.
Oh.
I want to go forward. And this came after a hard divorce, moving across the ocean, letting everything go in Montreal, Canada, including my 2 children. And that's where the burden is.
Got it. Talk to me about the kids.
Well, my beautiful partner, Maria, comes with 2 other kids, one 12, one 14. My kids are 17 and 20. And I feel guilt because I don't speak to them every day. Not that I can speak to them every day. I don't speak to them every day. I don't connect with my own children as often as I'd like to. And I'm spending more time with the children of my partner, my partner's children.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm rebuilding myself financially. Right now, my net worth is 3,000 under. I'm in the red. I'm starting a new life here in the Netherlands. And I feel that all the money I could be putting towards flying more or getting my kids to visit me more are now going into this other family, new family. And resentment is starting to form.
How many can see? How many can see why resentment might start building for them? Raise your hand. It's kind of rough because you're like, this is my lady. I really love her. I'm down with her. She's my person for life. But my kids are in another country, and these children are here, and I'm pouring into these kids, and not my other kids. And all of that's in the obstacle of pulling this off is what? How could you have all of it? Her kids and your kids.
Money.
Say it again.
Make it rain.
Make it fucking rain. Make it fucking rain.
Yeah.
So I have a family member who is struggling to get pregnant. Wants to get pregnant. Deeply passionate about getting pregnant. Wants to have another baby. Wants baby. This huge buildup in the family. Everybody's excited for the baby opportunity, excited for the opportunity, and then comes the big news, which is there's a $15,000 obstacle to be able to have the opportunity to do the procedure to hopefully have a baby. And immediately inside this world, all the future hopes and dreams and balance are crashed to the ground over $15,000. And I'm watching the family jump in and share all loves and consideration, which I understand, I get it. It's a sad moment. And then I sat back and asked myself a question. I said, well, who would you have to become to solve a $15,000 problem to bring a human being into your life? Forever. And everyone's hugging. I love you. We're so sad for you. And as a producer, I'm thinking, that's a $15,000 problem. And on the other side of that problem is a fucking baby. I'm trying to understand why we've already sold out and quit. You want a baby for life, but I got a $15,000 obstacle, but you can't get big enough to get over the obstacle. The obstacle feels too big, you feel too small, so we quit. So, of course, like I always do, I inserted a possibility. Wasn't received real well. So I just asked a simple question. It appears to me there's a $15,000 obstacle between you and the child. If you want the child, who would you have to become as a savage woman to create the conditions to get the child? If the hurdle's $15,000, who would you have to be to overcome the hurdle of $15,000 to get it?
16,000.
No, this is your situation. 60,000. See, we have to get you to a place where you're dealing with $1 million, multi-million, $10 million problems. But if we can't deal with $15,000 problems or $60,000 problems or $500 problems, we're never going to fucking get there. So we're stepping back in a deeper question. We're saying one of the greatest obstacles in my entire life in my relationship right now is the fact that I don't get to spend time with my kids. And the barrier to doing that is what? What's the barrier? Money.
That's all it is.
You realize that most problems in your life can be solved with money? Most of them. You know, my Sedona, Arizona oil rubbing meditation crews don't like to hear that. This is why it's so funny to me how they just refuse the game of capitalism and business. Greatest impact in the world. You want to change the world, but you're not good with money? That's a fucking problem. Well, I don't believe in money. Well, what do you believe in? Because in this world, money matters. Yeah, but in the 14th dimension, don't give a fuck about the 14th dimension. We live here right now. So unless you can pull your 14th dimensional wisdom down into this place, I don't give a fuck. Show me how it matters here. Because in this place, the obstacles of most of your problems comes down to your ability to make money or not. Is it going to solve all your problems? No. What does money allow you to do? It allows you to create opportunity and space to solve problems. You need more time with your wife, but you got 5 kids? Hire a nanny. Can't afford a nanny. That's a money problem, not a marriage problem. Can't see my kids. $60,000. That's not a balance problem, that's a money problem. Now we're saying, well, who would I have to become to solve that problem? I'm going to get what I'm talking about. Raise your hands. People don't like these conversations. It's uncomfortable. This was the great dilemma that I saw between two worlds. I saw a world of spiritual people who had all the right answers about God. They were amazing. They're wonderful. They were inspiring. They brought healing into my life. They showed me light in ways I could never have seen it in any other way. But then I was super frustrated by the fact that they charged $14 for everything. And I couldn't understand with such impact and such gifts and such talents and such ability to awaken a human being why they would devalue themselves in this world while see themselves in such high value in another. On the flip side, I would see men in the business world, and I had to challenge a question there. How is it possible I can be so powerful in the business world but so disconnected from the purpose of this life? How is it possible to be this smart to lead this many people, to lead that company, take that company from private to public, run $1 billion organization? How is it possible you can do all this shit with money, but when it comes to your soul and when it comes to connecting, you're done and dead? Warrior was born as the bridge in between these two worlds. Deep connection and deep reality in this life. Heaven to earth. Heaven to earth. Not just pontificate on the weekends about heaven. And then just go back to work. Your hotel rooms. Did I pay for them with meditation? Did I go to the front desk of Trump and say, hey, I got 150 guys coming to Trump. I'd like to pay you in good intentions and meditation. I've been meditating for 13 years. Feel really good. I've talked to God in the 15th dimension. He has told me you need to pay for all these hotel rooms. And then next thing you know, I heard Gilbert's voice come over the loudspeakers of the Trump. Go fuck yourself. I was like, what? At some level, you have to see that a lot of your balance problems are money problems. Why don't I have time to spend time with my wife? Why? Well, because I can't afford it. Then for the guys that can't afford it, we're dealing with a different problem, which you just don't want to pay yourself. Some of you took a long time to figure that one out. You'll make the money. Fuck, we'll have 300 people working for us. We're still not giving ourselves permission to pay ourselves. Turn to the person next to you. Get 2 other people with you. I want you to talk about what you're hearing me say. Virtually, we're going to go 4 minutes on this breakout. Give me a breakout 4 minutes virtually. Everyone's going to go in a group. You're going to talk about this as a group. Here in the room, you got 4 minutes to talk about it too. Get 2 more people quickly on your feet, in the room. Let's go, on your feet, on your feet. Here we go, virtual. You're going 4 minutes on this. You're going to talk about what you're hearing me say. I'm going to transition to another one. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Back to seat. Wrap it up, hug it up, back to your seat. I need to be more of an asshole. Blows my mind. A lot of balance problems or money problems. What do I have to who do I have to become to solve this problem? We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we use to create them. Make more, give more, be the bridge, solve more problems. I'd rather be crying in the back of a Bugatti than a Honda Civic. I like that one. That's good. I like that one. It's a good one. You know what's interesting to me is the church world. You want to know why the church world is interesting to me? I'll tell you, there's a lot of reasons, but here's the big one. In most of the religious world, money is looked down upon until asking for it to get a new building. And then 95% of the money comes from 5% of the people who attend a church. And with 100% certainty, most of them are high-level business owners and entrepreneurs who are capitalists. So the nonprofits only exist because the for-profits make profit. Otherwise, the nonprofits can't do anything they want to do with their tax breaks without the for-profit organizations funding the nonprofit organization. If you're in chat and you get what I'm talking about, type in, I get it. I don't have anything wrong with it. Not against it. I just always find it odd that the sales pitch every week is the same. We need a new building, give us more money. Knowing they're actually speaking about 5% of the people in the room. Why? Because the rest of the group doesn't participate or contribute anything. Period. They just show up for free kid care. See, you don't run a business where you get to do that. You can't just slap Jesus on it and ask for money. Hey, welcome to my consulting. Jesus on it. Give me some money. I need a new building. Hey, guys, I need a new virtual studio. I just put Jesus on it and I give me some money. No, you operate in a business world that requires you to operate with Christ as your wing in this game, but you have to actually do hard shit that doesn't hide under the frame of God. God's working through you. You're not using that name as a way to get what you need. There's a big difference. Raise your hands if you get what I'm talking about. Now, don't get me wrong. I have no problem with church world. Don't care. It's beautiful. I'm happy for them. I'm glad they're doing what they're doing. They're helping a lot of people. You're not those guys. I'm not that guy. You run businesses and employ people. You create jobs. Government doesn't create jobs. Only reason government has any money is the same reason the church has any money. Because they come to the producers and tax the producers to pay for the nonprofits. I'm okay with it. But let's get honest about where it is. And you being able to own the reality of who you are as a producer matters. I'm going to have you all consider one really big thing. Michael Sullivan, I'm going to consider this. John, Jude, Stephen Charlton, Rob Lararo, Benjamin Norman, Jason Curtis, all of you. Some most profoundly guided men in the game today and in the next 2 decades. The men that God will use to bring about change in our society, that will bring about change in our children, change in our governments, and change in the world will not come from pastors. And it will not come from churches. If the pastors and churches could have figured it out, they'd have done it already. It will come through producers like you and me who do not retreat to a holding cell to talk about Christ. We bring Christ to the front lines of life. Real time, every day. Or you can just keep playing around. You just keep playing around. People are like, but I run a concrete company. How could I do that? Easy. You control the culture of those people. They're dependent on you for jobs. You control the culture of what light you can infuse into their lives in a way that you have ultimate authority in the way a church never does, because the church doesn't control people's money. Just be open to the idea that you becoming incredibly wealthy is actually required by the Creator for you to do what you must do. Otherwise, who's going to pay for it? The Bitcoin boys? They're all broke now. They were fucking billionaires last year. Now they're all fucking broke. Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to fund it? Who's going to pay for the military? Who's going to pay for all this? You should print it. Accepting a check and writing checks are two different games. Nobody understands what it's like to have to write payroll when you spent your life accepting payroll. Once you have to write payroll, shit's a lot different. It's a different game. Because then there's 37 families whose lives are on the line if you don't hit payroll on Thursday. That's a stewardship and responsibility. That's the most profoundly powerful, connected, divine calling a man could ever have outside of his wife and children, is being the sole decision maker in providing economic abundance to his people as a king. But to do that, you have to have skills. To do that, you have to have courage. To do that, you have to do what's required to build that. It doesn't just happen because you hope it happens. And then we get to a certain point, Kevin, where we've got to make another decision, which is we've established abundance. But what does the next level of creation in that look like for you? What does it become? So we're going to dive into our next map, and we're going to look at the conversation of business and money. We're going to go through the same dynamic of questions that we did with balance. We're going to take a look at what currently you feel in freedom in your current business and money game today. We're going to look at what bondage you currently feel inside of that area. We're going to look at the revelations and lessons you got from it, no different than we did with balance. You're going to have 25 minutes to do this, at home audience as well as here in the room. Gentlemen, flip your devices up and get them ready to go. Go back into that notes section. Go into the fact maps, and where you saw the conversation of balance that you just completed, you're going to see one called business. It's the exact same questions. You're going to go through where you're seeing current freedom, where you're currently seeing bondage, and you're going to cascade those down across the other three domains, ending with some revelation and some lessons learned. And then we're going to go through the same game of talking about those after you get a chance to work through them. We've got 25 minutes to finish this working session inside of the category of money and business. In the chat with my virtual and home audience, if you're clear about where we're going for the next 25 minutes, type in the word clear in the chat so I know you're clear. Type it in and give me some clear up in that chat. Give it, 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 give it. If you're clear here in the room about where we're going to go for the next 25 minutes, give me a clear, clear, clear. Beautiful. Give me some good music, little upbeat, up tempo. Bring my house lights up. Put my clock on. Gentlemen, if you need to talk, you will go outside my room. You will not talk inside my room. Clear? All right, here we go. Time is yours. 25 minutes. Grab 2 other brothers, 3 other brothers in the room, 4 virtually. Gentlemen, get ready. We're about to go to a breakout. We're going to go to a breakout right now. We're going to have 4 or 5 of you in a group. We're going to go for 20 minutes on this breakout. You're going to talk about everything that you got. Gentlemen in the room, you guys know what you need to do. Find 3 new men. Get to a new place in the room. Get to a new place in the room. Get yourself in a position. Let's go. All of my virtual team, here we go. Gentlemen, all my at-home guys. I know some of you guys at lunch, it was like an hour ago. Welcome to whatever time zone you're in. We appreciate your commitment to be here. We got about another hour and a half until we're wrapped up for today on day number 1. Don't miss it. We got a whole lot of more shit to cover. For now, though, you've got an important piece, which is you sharing with your brothers and getting into breakout just like we're doing here in person. So we've got 4 or 5 of you in a group. We're going to go 20 minutes on this share. Everybody takes a turn in that. So virtual, if you're clear and ready to go for your share, type in clear into my chat so they know that you're clear. Let's go, let's go. Give me some clears up in that chat. Get it in, get it in, get it in, get it in, get it in. Tim Van Orsaw sitting in his red lights like always. I love it, brother. Good to see you with that big beard. All right, here we go. Virtual, you are off to the races. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Well, here we are. Franklin, get up here. Brandon, Lemuel, get up here. Spilled coffee and water. Oh my God, can't bring that guy anywhere. Let's go. Right here in the center. Talk to us. Current freedom in business. What do you got?
Freedom in Business got a leadership team in place of just super high caliber people. We've been working on that for 18 months, and it just feels really awesome to have a team that's going to free me up to go focus on bigger stuff. We're 12% ahead of last year. Last year was the best year we've ever had, so I feel awesome about that.
Awesome.
And on paper, we've got more profits than we've ever had already through the year. So
Big.
1,
2 clap. Boom. What else?
I just feel really fucking proud of what I've built. I mean, you know some of my story. Old family business. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that. And so I'm really fucking proud.
Sorry, what I want you to know is that it's like, I crushed, and I'm really fucking proud that I crushed. And in a room of men committed to building shit and crushing, we feel, 2 clap, boom, 2 clap, boom, 2 clap, boom. I want you to consider one of the problems is you're not in an environment of people who celebrate the fact that you win. And a lot of them didn't see you fight to get to the win, so they don't know. That's when Franklin's like, you know. And I'm like, I do know. And there's a celebration in it, and any of the intensity or the collision that comes in counsel of being able to be in an environment where you know what somebody's committed to, and then everyone is celebrating the win. Congratulations. Bondage, what do you say? Amidst all the wins, what do you know needs
Amidst all the wins, revenue on top and profit on the bottom does not equal cash in the bank. We've got $1 million more of inventory. It's like, oh fuck. Got record profit, and I got to get that inventory down, get my dollars back so I can actually fucking pay myself and pay some taxes here next year.
So we have massive wins in the business. We forgot the principal king eats first.
Yep.
Jesse Barlow didn't know anything about that till he fucking did and bought a ranch, a big-ass truck, and half the state of Utah. And there's all this energy put into build, build, build. There's one simple thing that most of you fuckers forget. The king eats first. Yeah, I got lots of employees. Yeah, I got lots of people I'm taking care of. Yeah, I got no fucking money. Yeah, but we're changing the world. We're in Nashville and we're changing the world. Yeah, but there's no money. How's there no money? It's all this revenue. How's there no money? How many of you sat in a situation where you're like, all this revenue, but there's no money. Raise your hand. It's kind of a fucking weird place to be. You're like, wait a second, do the math. So we got an opportunity on our hands, which is you deciding to pull the trigger on a requirement of the business to pay you first. It's a weird place to put yourself.
Yep.
Because you look at the business and you say, hey, I appreciate it. I've done all this for you guys. You are great. So here's the deal. Next year, here's what I'm taking starting January 1st at the first of the month, every fucking month. And the rest of the numbers, that's why you are on the team, is to help me figure out what that has to be. But I need you to understand, on the first of the month, I'm drafting this fucking money. We won't have any room for inventory. Then we better fucking figure it out. So this level of bondage is an interesting game. Cash matters. Look at how y'all just sit quiet in that. Because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Nothing crazier than having successful shit go and having no money. And then you get to have the conversation. It's an interesting conversation because then the tax bills come in and the rest of the stuff comes in. And then you get to have a conversation. And it's a weird conversation because we're celebrating and at the same time we're also feeling what?
Oh, fuck.
Fuck! You're like, how's it possible? I'm like, yes! And I'm like, fuck! All at the same time. And then the worst part is you get to go on a date night and you get to tell your wife what?
Well, she has questions. It's like, so I hear all this great news. And?
Why don't I have my fucking kitchen? You're like, oh, you got no money for the kitchen. Did you just hire 4 more people?
Yeah.
Did you not just win awards for record revenues in your industry? And I can't have the kitchen. Go fuck yourself. How many know I'm talking about? Hands up. It's the weirdest place to be. He's like, wait a second. Now, once you figure it out, you're good. So it's amazing. The good news is you have momentum. It's exciting.
Yeah,
all we have is
the problem.
Yeah, the momentum becomes a problem if you don't get paid.
Right.
Momentum's great if you got paid. Momentum's horrible because now you got to walk into meetings in the back of your mind, you're thinking, motherfucker. So you're listening to everybody happy who for sure check is showing up in 2 weeks. It's showing up in 2 weeks for sure. But in the back of your brain, you're like, I appreciate all this shit. But then comes the worthiness, which is being able to say, hey, king eats first. I'm pulling the money, period. Why? Because I can't. And the business will either rise or it won't. Wait, what about us? Oh, no. You got to have safety and security for 2 years while I paid you through COVID and didn't one time bat an eye at paying you. So now you motherfuckers are going to feel the weight. Because I'm going to pull the cash and then the business is not going to have any cash and then we're going to have to make the business rise together. This isn't going to work out with the king takes last anymore. So we're to sing to put it on the board because that means the business, which interestingly enough, who is the business built for? Who? Notice how about 7 of you say that. Care. Because y'all get exactly what Franklin's. Some of you just want to be in a good problem that Franklin's got. Some of you are virtually online and back home, you're like, man, I just like to have Franklin's problems. I'd like to have a lot of momentum and revenue. Until you have a tax bill with not enough cash to pay. The math makes sense. It should make sense. You're like, if math makes sense, yet it doesn't make sense. How the fuck did this happen? So one simple principle then has to be inserted in the game, which is what?
King eats first.
That's it. So you determine what you're going to make. Then you tell the business what it's going to pay. Everybody else tells you what they're worth. Why are you not telling the business what you're worth?
Don't think I'm worthy.
Exactly. I struggled through that for a long time. Long time. Now step across that line. Once you step across that line, there's no going back. Now, anyone that disagrees with them, fire them. Anyone who doesn't support the king eats first principle, fire them. See, remember, everyone's happy to support you as long as they get paid. Try not fucking paying them for 2 months. Yeah. Let's see where the loyalty is. Hey, the fuck, I paid you all through COVID. Where's the loyalty? Give me 4 months. Give me 4 months. How many of you are going to be sick for 4 months and no checks through Christmas?
I'm sorry?
How many of them would stay if you stopped paying them between now until the end of first quarter and you said, bleed for the team and we're going to win? How many would stay?
0.
0. I just need you to understand. You're in relationships of convenience. There's a handful of people on your team who are there for a bigger cause. But those people also, what happens if they stop getting paid? They have to go home and talk to who?
Your spouse.
Their spouse. And say, yeah, I believe Franklin's vision. He's got a big vision. I hear that, and how are we going to pay for Christmas? No, listen, I don't think you're getting what I'm saying. There's a really big vision. Yeah, and I don't think you get what you're saying, which is you can't pay the fucking bills. And we have no future, no matter how big the business grows, go fuck your business. This is a hard line in the concrete when it's dry. And then everybody has to know, and anyone that doesn't agree, goodbye. The man who did this was fairly simple. My salons know, I know, our hairstylists know, everyone knows. I was like, that $18,000 a month you make as a stylist, I love you. I appreciate you. I love that you're here. Don't ever forget who created this for you. I did. You're an artist. I appreciate you. I love you. You're replaceable. And as soon as they'd find a great opportunity, guess what will happen? And it happened 3 times in our salons. Bailed and took 1/3 of the clients with them. So, it doesn't mean that all people are assholes. It just means that as a king, you must protect the kingdom. And the fastest way to protect the kingdom is protect who?
Me.
This is one of those uncomfortable conversations. Nothing more dangerous than a starving king. You love your people, prosper yourself. You want to fuck your marriage up and your family up and all the people that work for you? Go ahead and starve yourself. Watch what a hungry king does to his people when desperate. In the chat, if you get what I'm talking about, type in fuck yes in the chat. You can disagree with me. It's fine. It's not my wife, not my kids. It's yours. You're the one that gets to have that hard conversation, not me. I've already had those hard conversations. Omar, did you get me? Look at me. You get me? Just type in yes. Say just yes. These are one of those moments that change everything. Oftentimes we come looking for all these maps and road maps and all this bullshit. The thing we actually need is one simple pivot. One pivot that bends your brain in a direction that's unable to return to its original form. It's one of those moments for you. This is good news. It's a fairly simple change. Right here. If you change it there, you'd be amazed at what the business is able to do when you expect it to. How many know right now business money and personal money get spent different? Raise your hand. Hands down. How many found yourself in a situation where you can justify 5 new iMacs, but you can't justify vacation with your kids to a 5-star hotel? Raise your hands. How many of you lost ad spend in a fairly large amount in failed campaigns, but at the same time struggle to put money into your family with putting on an addition to the house or possibly moving? Raise your hand. How many have been in this place? I remember having that conversation with my wife. She asked if I said, nope, can't have it. We don't have any money. Can't do it. Not in the budget. Not going to do it. She said, hold on. First off, in the spirit of Gilbert, go fuck yourself. Second, outside the spirit of Gilbert, let me ask you a question. Did you not tell me you made a test last week in which you learned a lot from $48,000 in ad spend that you fucked up on? That's a learning lesson? Did you not just go buy A, B, and C iMacs and hire 3 new people over here, and you're telling me I can't have a barbecue set up in the backyard where our kids spend time and have this, and I can't have that built because it's too much? You're telling me I can't have the trees to protect your daughters while they're in bikinis so that people don't look down from the walkway at you? Is this what you're telling me? I've taught her too much, Cohen. I can't go back. I've taught her too much. She knows my language. So then I come back, and I think to myself, should have made my wife so powerful, shouldn't have empowered her. Should have kept her low, over here, said be pregnant, stay in the kitchen, be quiet. Nope, too late. She has an opinion. She's powerful. She tells me to go fuck myself. You'll find her here and find out very quickly this woman's savage on Friday. And there's a moment for me where I get it, and I'm like, wait a sec, what is the message I'm telling my family? I never considered it. What's the message? Put your microphone up.
Not important.
It's wild. And is that what you want them to feel?
No.
No, fuck. And that's the hardest part. It's not like you want them to feel this. You just don't know that you're saying it without saying it. My wife's like, I want you to understand how devalued I feel as your most important person in your life when you tell me no to these things, but at the same time turn around and we'll go spend shitloads of money over here. You tell me I can't do this, but you'll get on a jet with your friends and go get high for the weekend. That's her newest one. You'll hear it all on Friday. I'm not bullshitting you. The woman's going to unleash on you. All you're going to get to hear it and ask whatever you want. She'll tell you about exactly how she feels about everything. This principle will liberate your marriage and your family and your life. Are you seeing this? Too good. Boom. Too good. Boom. Beautiful. Hand it off to Brandon. Brandon, what do you got?
Okay, so the freedom in business. About a year ago, I was doing a Spartan race, and I tore my pec major tendon. And I'm a chiropractor, and that's pretty important for me to be able to do chiropractic adjustments. So God gave me a gift. And over this past year, the freedom it has allowed me to lean on my team more, because I was immediately pulled from the practice, and my COO, office manager Lynn, stepped up to run the place. Dr. Travis stepped in to handle all the patient load, and I recognized that my team could do a lot more when we were forced to make the decision. Now, keep in mind, 2 years prior to this, God had already told me to make these moves, but I hesitated and I didn't make the moves until I was forced to actually have to make the move. So this year, we've been focusing on building up our team. So we've added depth, we're working on training them, and we're consistent in our rhythms and meetings, which has allowed time freedom to open up in my life so that I can have more time with my wife and my 2 kids. My daughter Cleista is 12, and then my son Kyson is 9. And it's been really awesome to be involved in their life at the level that I am now. So that's the freedom, that's where I'm at. Where the bondage is the reality of the situation is I've been in a fucking pit since about right around August. And here's where my pit is fucking with me. Is because I love what I do. I love being a chiropractor, and I had a moment in King's Council in May where God gave me this vision, and he told me what he wanted me to go do. And I've been fucking stuck wrestling with this, of how to get out of this box that I'm in, where I feel at times I need to go into the business and save the business, because if I'm not there fulfilling or selling, then the business is going to end up failing. But God has asked me to go in a different direction, and the fucking pit I've been in is that I've been ignoring him, because it's been really hard for me to fucking listen and take a knee, because I've been unwilling. And I continue to keep fighting this. And what it ends up doing is it drives my behaviors away from where I want to be. Like, I don't know where this is coming from, but I feel like I'm even rebelling against what God has been asking me to do. I don't ever remember experiencing this in my life, but it's happening right now. I'm fucking eating and eating and eating like I've never done before. And I know these things are not healthy. It's my fucking form of sedation, because I don't drink alcohol anymore. A few days ago, 17 years since then. So it's like I go to these other areas to try to sedate, and it's like, where the fuck does this come from? Because I'll have this locked down and nailed in certain times, but this is where it's coming at. So I sedate, then I'm not present with my family. So I now have more time freedom, and I'm not even fucking present with them, because now I'm thinking about and wrestling in my mind what God has called me to do, but I'm failing to take that next step and that next action. So I'm not a free man right now, but I desire that. And I know it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But I'm just up here sharing that, because this fucking pit is driving me away from where God's called me to go.
Why don't you consider, some of you might be seeing economic contraction because you're not listening. So like things that normally worked aren't working because you're not listening. Some of you are experiencing the opposite, economic expansion, because you are listening. Sometimes the only way to get your attention is to do what? Constrict you by the economic balls. Guys tend to listen that way. Something about controlling a man's money and his inability to provide for his family that gets his attention rather quickly. Beautiful. Two clap, boom, two clap, boom, two clap, boom. Thanks, brother.